Oh, I'm recording. Oh, shit. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you're staying safe out there. I don't know what's happening anymore. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by to see what I have to offer. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for coming back. It's good to see you. Today, I figured I would go down a list of my favorite animes. It seems as though everybody and their mom watched anime, but I don't remember anybody. And it's so funny that a lot of us have the same experience as well. There's people out the like, if I knew this many people liked anime, I'm not saying I got bullied, but I think I would have a much better experience and memories of school. I've honestly been watching anime since I was very tiny. My mom likes anime, and so I grew up watching it. My name would have been Akira, so it tells you something. My mom was a weeb, and I'm a weeb myself. So today, I figured I'd let my weeb flag fly and share my favorite animes that I have seen over the years. I wrote a list of almost over 100 animes, and I had to reduce it down to the top 20, and it was so hard. It was so hard. I almost was like, fuck it, the list has to stay the way it is. Like, all of these are number ones to me, honestly. All of them are number ones. I just had to break down my number ones into a top 20. That's how this list is. I know there's gonna be some that people probably have never heard of, and there are gonna be a couple that people have heard of. I purposely kind of kept away from mainstream ones like Cowboy Bebop. Like, I feel like if you don't like Cowboy Bebop, like, what is wrong with you? Like, so that's like a given. It's in its own tier. I'm going through anime that like either I don't really hear hype for or are pretty divisive. So I'm gonna give my top 20. I'm gonna start from 20 and we're just gonna do a countdown, okay? Number 20, I love Hamtaro. That is not something I'm ashamed of. And honestly, I was just gonna leave it there. I was gonna be like Hamtaro, just like to be funny. But then as I was, when I was grabbing stuff for the video, I discovered that in this year, in July 26th, I think it said, July 26th of this year, 2,000 protesters in Bangkok named the Free Youth Movement led a protest against the government of Thailand, which involved singing the theme song for Hamtaro with modified lyrics to say things like, the most delicious food is taxpayers' money. It's kind of like the whole China Winnie the Pooh thing, like they use Hamtaro and images of Hamtaro like consuming a lot as a means to mock Thailand. And I was like, okay, you got a little bit more badass Hamtaro, and I don't feel bad about adding you to my list, because I do like Hamtaro. I would wake up and do the ham dance, and I don't have shame in that. I don't have shame in that. Whatever, it's my favorite. So number 19, I have Samurai 7. It's based off of the Akira Kurosawa film, Seven Samurai, but I like the industrial feudal Japan aspect it gave to it. It actually introduced me to the Akira Kurosawa version, and I feel shame in saying that, but like I was like in middle school when I saw Samurai 7. While I grew up with anime, I also grew up a lot with live action films, but that was kind of one that I never had seen until then. I could watch it again over and over, and I have. Number 18 is Gankutsubo, The Count of Monte Cristo. One of my favorite books is The Count of Monte Cristo. One of my favorite movies is the Guy Ritchie version that he's in. I love The Count of Monte Cristo. That's one of my favorite books. So when you give me one of my favorite books in an anime form, I'm gonna watch it. If you don't know the story of Count of Monte Cristo, it's about Edmond Dantes, who is essentially betrayed by his friends, and they kind of steal his life and send him away to a prison for him to die. But he gets out, creates a new life, and exacts revenge on everyone who ruined his life. It's one of my favorite stories because it just shows you how even if you come from nothing, you can use your resources around you and come into something, but also use that something to exact revenge if necessary. The anime version is just like Samurai 7. It is a clever retelling because it takes place in the far future. It's like 2053, I think that's when it takes place. It has robots and spaceships. But the thing that I like the most about it, it was written and directed by Mahiro Maeda, and the character designs were by Hidenori Matsubara. He did Ava and Oh My Goddess as well. Maeda wanted to combine Western Impressionism with ukiyo-e, which is the style of 19th century Japanese painting, which strongly influenced the Impressionist movement. So it's just a lot of art. It's like looking at an art gallery as you watch this story. It's a gorgeous anime, it's a gorgeous story. And towards the end, it got a little off the rails and I don't know where it was coming from, but I like when my anime does that. That's just me. I like when my anime lures me in and then goes off the rails when it like once. It's my favorite. So number 17 is Jubei-chan. It's about this legendary swordsman named Yagyu Jubei, who is defeated by this rival at this school. And when he dies from the wounds that he received in battle, he passes off this eye patch to his apprentice, who lives for almost 300 years until he comes across this girl named Jiyu Nanohana and gives her the eye patch, or kind of just pushes it onto her. But she doesn't want anything to do with it. She just wants to live a normal life. But because she is the successor of this eye patch, there are people who constantly come to challenge her. But it's so funny. It has so many visual gags. I love it so much. Oops, shit. I own Jubei-chan, the first series, because there's 2 series. And I fucked up. I was buying these when they were individuals, but I have 3 of the 4 of the second series. I don't know where you can watch it, but I used to watch it on, here we go. I used to watch it on Comcast when they had the on-demand anime that you could watch. It was on there. It was under Anime Selects. Did I just hit a bunch of people with nostalgia? I hope so. It's pretty much just a ninja magical girl anime. I tend to like the girly archetype animes. I can't just have it cutesy. It's got to be like action in it. And this is definitely like a magical girl anime that is geared more towards the action, but it's so funny. Number 16, again, this isn't saying that this is any worse than anything else on my list. These are just my favorites that I broke down into a top 20. But if you are a serious anime fan, you already know about this one. That's Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is amazing. The dub it was universally hated when it first came out. And mind you, when they announced the dub, it was actually announced at Otakon 2005. I think that was like I think Otakon 2005 was like my 3rd Otakon. Yeah, it was like my 3rd Otakon. So they announced the dub for Ghost Stories at that Otakon. And when it came out, like, people just hated it because it didn't take itself seriously, because the anime thing is on there, but it didn't take itself seriously, and that's because the script was shit. So the voice actors and the writers just ad-libbed and had fun with it. If you are an anime fan, you know about Ghost Stories. If you don't know about Ghost Stories, check out Ghost Stories. I can't describe it either. It's just a bunch of kids running around having interactions with ghosts. But that's not what's important. What's important is the dub itself. Number 15 is Steel Angel Kurumi. I think this also came on Comcast at some point, but I did not see it on Comcast. I saw it, somebody else I knew owned the DVDs. The easiest way to describe Steel Angel Kurumi is chobits. It's chobits with fighting. I mean, and those exist. What's that one anime? What was that one anime? Hold on. Watch my brain work. Angelic Layer. Yeah. So the manga for Steel Angel Kurumi was being made at the same time as the anime. So there are some things that are different, but like they were happening simultaneously. It's like a reverse harem, but not, because there are a bunch of girls, and most of the girls want to be with Kurumi, but Kurumi wants to be with it'll come to me. It won't. I'll just put it right here. It's just chobits. The same things happen. He, instead of touching her button, he kisses her on the lips, which activate her, and the military want her for mysterious reasons. They obviously want her as a weapon because she's super strong. She can fucking jump across mountains like the Hulk and shit. When she was reset, her memory was wiped. So she kind of claimed the dude whose name I can't remember right now. She claims him as her master, and she protects him. And if anybody comes near him, she fucks him up. And that's the anime. And then season 2, it got a little bit more gay. I remember, but I was okay with it. Like, because there's already sexual tension between like all these characters, and she's calling some of them her sister, And they're like, we ain't sisters. And I'm like, what's happening? Number 14 is XL Saga. XL Saga is meta humor to the max. Like it has meta humor for the Japanese dub and the English dub. There's so many jokes. There's so many different types of episodes because the whole point of XL Saga is to be a parody of anime. So every episode is a different type of anime or different type of entertainment type, but with these characters while doing a running story. It was directed by Shinichi Watanabe, which he's done so many animes, so many. But in this one, he had a character named Nabashin, which was in tribute to him because, you know, Watanabe, Shinichi. I wish I owned it. I wish I owned it, but I don't. Number 13 is Batum. I hyped this anime up so much when it first came out. I was like, everybody needs to watch Batum. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And nobody watched it. And it proved it because it didn't get a second season. So Batum pretty much is about this guy. I'm really bad with names. I just take it. I'm going to put it in the thing. And that's that. So it's about this guy who is pretty much the top player online for this video game called Batum, where you use bombs in a battle royale. And he's the #1 player in the world. And he has an online girlfriend and he's just badass. Until one day he gets captured and dropped on an island with a little gem in his hand and I think he started with nothing, or maybe he had a couple bombs. I can't remember. And all these people were put on this island by somebody that they know or somebody that, you know, had a grudge against them. You don't know, and they don't know. But only one person can get off the island. The coolest thing that I found out about this anime and about Batum was that in 2016, they had a online game called Batum Online, and it actually predates PUBG and Fortnite, but nobody played it. So I'm just like, oh no, I didn't know. But now I feel bad because I didn't play it either. Number 12 is Cromartie High School. First off, I can't find any clips anywhere that I felt comfortable using or anything like that. And it's very hard to explain. It's just it's kind of like a slice of life anime that takes place at a school with a bunch of delinquent students, but not. It's like a slice of life surreal parody. I can say that being a weeb helped me enjoy that show because it's so based in like Japanese humor and Japanese culture that only a Japanese person or a weeb will truly enjoy the show. And because it's funny in English and it's funny in Japanese. The English dub, it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it is funnier in Japanese and it's really just hard to explain. Like if I tried to explain it, I would sound like I did a bunch of drugs. Number 11 is Future Diary. Future Diary came into my life at a very dark time. Very dark time. But the premise of it is that there's 13 people playing a game, another battle royale essentially. Whoever makes it to the end gets a wish or gets to become, you know, powerful or whatever they want. There's a lot involved in it. I can't really explain it past that. And if you watch more into it, you kind of watch Stockholm Syndrome happen before your eyes. Yuno's a bitch and she crazy. Yuno's that type of bitch you need by your side always. I would have loved to have been her friend. If you want to check it out, I think it is available on maybe Crunchyroll because it's owned by Funimation. So I don't know where Funimation and Crunchyroll shit is nowadays. I kind of just watch what's on Netflix and Hulu. The shit that I pay for, you know. Number 10 is Bastard. I don't know if anybody's really heard of this one. This one's pretty old. This one came out when I was 2 years old, so that tells you how old it is. In order to go through the plot, I have to explain a couple things. Bastard, it came out in 1992, but it was actually written a year and 3 months after JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It has a common theme with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that is that everything in it is named after a musician or a band or just different. It has a lot of musical references. And when it was dubbed and brought over to America, or when the manga came out in America, they couldn't afford the rights to a lot of the bands and musicians and stuff like that. So you get a lot of knockoff names when you watch the dub, but That's why. Dan Norris, Timmy Turner's dad. He plays Dark Schneider, who's a big asshole wizard who was trapped inside of a little boy and brought out by the little boy's friend who had to kiss him to release Dark Schneider. She kisses him, brings him back, and she does that because the 4 Lords of Havoc are coming to hold on, let me say it right. Yeah, so they're coming to Metallicana, like Metallica. Their characters named like Judas Priest. It's all that. It's like JoJo, but like D&D without as much flamboyancy. But it's kind of like that. Darren Norris, I love his voice acting. I love pretending that it's Timmy Turner's dad the whole time. He kind of ruined Ned's Declassified for me when that first came out, because I was just like, hey, that's Dark Schneider's voice. Number 9, Yuri on Ice. I loved Yuri on Ice. Growing up, I really liked figure skating. Michelle Kwan is probably one of my favorite figure skaters when I was a kid. So watching Yuri on Ice gave me that nostalgia for watching her figure skate. You can't watch it and not feel like they're not even animated. I watched it week after week when it came out, and I really felt as though I was following a real person, while also giving us some LGBTQ+A, whatever that stuff is. I can't remember all the letters, I'm sorry. I just remember my letters. And even the gay aspects of it don't even matter, honestly. Like, my brother, I got him to watch Yuri on Ice, and it's probably one of his favorites as well, because it's just good. Number 8, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, specifically. Okay, I have my reasons. Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds wasn't trying to live in the shadow of Yu-Gi and Yu-Gi-Oh! It actually tried something different. It followed more of an Incan mythology and not Egyptian. It actually followed the rules. It advanced the game. Yeah, I'm going there. It advanced the game. Like, I actually fucking care. I do care, okay? Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm raging. I'm raging a little bit right now because you don't understand what it's like to play people who only watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And you watch and have played the fucking game, and they make you feel stupid. And I always refer them. I'm like, go watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Go watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. You will literally learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I do like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't get me wrong. But Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is my favorite, because it was the first series that I was able to watch and kind of like play with the show. I'm like, oh man, he should probably synchro summon right now. And it's just like, oh man, he must be setting up to do this. So like, maybe he has this card face down. Whereas when I watched the first Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just like, oh man, I wish Graceful Charity was 1, not banned, and 2, a trap. Like, I wish, but that's not how the game works. I wish, well, actually, I was going to say this next thing, but I know it's different now. I was going to say, I wish I could summon 3 monsters in 1 turn, but you can. So, what do I know anymore? Number 7 is Gravitation. Now, I know people who know me are going to be like, what? That's not your number 1? But I love Gravitation. I know it's problematic. I know looking back as an adult that it's problematic. That's not how relationships work. I know that like there's things in there that it doesn't fly, but you know what? I don't care. 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 I literally don't care. It's my favorite. I don't care. Ask me if I care. I don't. I met Maki Murakami. She signed this for me, okay? I don't care. I really don't. Oh shit, I got books all over me. Hold up. See, I'm going off right now. The higher I get my list, I'm gonna nerd out a little bit more. Number 6. Number 6 is Hellsing, the original anime, not the OVA. Now let me explain. When Hellsing first came out, I watched it with my mom had it. I watched it. It was like underground mainstream, like edgy anime. And I'm sorry, the voice acting dub for the original Hellsing anime is so iconic and so classic. I like the OVA that came out in 2006 to 2012. Don't get me wrong. It didn't have the same feeling. You can't top the first dub of Hellsing. Even when they redid classic lines in the OVA, it just didn't feel the same. I didn't get the same feeling from it. I like the shitty thing that because because the manga wasn't finished when the first anime came out. So they had to wrap it up some way they could in 13 episodes. They had this random ass villain at the end called Incognito, and it was dumb. I don't disagree with that. But the whole experience up till then, you cannot say was not amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 5 is Princess Jellyfish. Princess Jellyfish, I've probably watched about, not exaggerating, more than 20 times. It's about this girl. She is kind of awkward. She's pretty much an otaku. In Japan, being an otaku doesn't necessarily mean that you only like anime. It typically means that you have a crazy obsession with something. She has a crazy obsession with jellyfish, and she moves into this place called the Amamizukan. Oh my God, I can't believe I remembered that. That's how every time I watch it. It's pretty much a bunch of other female otakus. One really has an obsession with trains, one has an obsession with old men, one has an obsession with dolls and kimonos, one has an obsession with feudal Japan dramas. And she's super awkward. She doesn't really deal with people, and she runs into this Kuronosuke. Oh my God, I can't believe I remember that. She runs into this beautiful princess named Kuronosuke, but turns out that it's actually a boy that's cross-dressing as a girl. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you wanna watch it, it's really good. It's very slice of life. It's not action involved. And I know I said that I tend to have girly animes, but with an action spin. This is one of the few that I love it the way it is. Everybody should watch it. I say guys should watch it, girls should watch it, everybody should watch it. Like, please. And if you do, let me know about it. Number 4 is Gungrave. I love Gungrave. It's based off a video game. It's about this guy named Brandon Heat. He starts off from nothing and comes back and becomes something. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it's kind of another retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. But what I can say about Gungrave over Count of Monte Cristo, even though that one stayed much more closer to the source material and just changed up a couple things, this one took that kind of story and made it its own. It's not until now I'm realizing that it is the same story beats, but I love Gungrave a lot more because one, Brandon Heat is fine. I loves me some Brandon Heat. It's good. It's good if you like action, if you like drama. But I will say the first episode is very action-packed. The second episode is like, ready for some story for the next 24 episodes? But it works. Number 3 is Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. This anime is one of the few animes that I have the entire OST for, and I listen to this day. It had Taku Takahashi from Inflow and TCY Crew from Teddy Lloyd on the soundtrack. It kind of has the art style of the Powerpuff Girls a little bit, but it's very adult. It's very adult. The best way I can describe it is like Ren and Stimpy, but with Powerpuff Girl animation. But the most infamous thing about Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt is that when it ended on Christmas Eve in like 2006. I don't remember. It was known as the year that Gainax ruined Christmas because I don't even know if people are still wondering where season 2 of this anime is, because it kind of ends in a very fucked up way that thinking about it right now pisses me off, because I watched it when it first came out and I was pissed. I was heated. Like, I was so heated, and I'm getting heated right now thinking about it. But I'm gonna calm down. Number 2, this one, unlike everything else on my list, I have honestly only seen once. And I think it's so fucking good, you only need to see it once. And that is Devilman Crybaby. Ichiro Okuchi, he wrote Wolf's Rain. He wrote the screenplay for Wolf's Rain. He also worked on this. So if you've seen Wolf's Rain, that's the kind of impact he put into this screenplay. But then you have Masaaki Uwasa, who directed the anime. And come to find out, he did not care for Go Nagai's original Devilman. So he took his own sort of spin on it and created this nihilistic masterpiece. And if you aren't sure who he is, he's done a lot of things. One of the most memorable things that he did, which I know even the most mundane anime watcher has seen, is Samurai Champloo. He did episode 9. That's when that drastic art change happened. That drastic art change is all of Devilman Crybaby. I read a quote that he said that perfectly sums up Devilman Crybaby without giving anything away, because I really want you to watch it. And the quote is, think of the story as a relay race where tears are passed as the baton. Akira, Devilman, is a crybaby, and at the end, he's able to make Satan cry. Like, even though I said that to you, that doesn't spoil anything. It's deep as shit, and it fucked me up for a bit. Like, it fucked me up so much. I've only seen it once. I've been trying to gather the energy to watch it again because somebody asked me to watch it with them. I only need to see it once, honestly, but at some point I'll watch it again. It's not an anime you pick up to just watch. That's what I'm saying. Like, you really do have to be in a mood and a mindset for it, because I was not in the mindset for what I watched when I first watched it. But I don't know when I'll ever be in the right mindset given the world that we're in now. Like, even so more now, I don't want to watch it. So I went through my top 19. So you're probably like, what is this? What is your number one? What is your number one? If you know me, you already know what my number one is. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. These were actually 2 fan arts that I bought at like my second Otakon. It's crazy, right? Video games. I had the PS1 one, and I don't know where it is. I think somebody stole it. Don't stop. It don't stop. Never stop. Never stop. I love Inuyasha. No shame. Okay? Look, hear me out. I know it's a trash anime, okay? Okay, I won't say it's a trash anime, okay? I know that it is a repetitive anime. It's formulaic. It's dumb. But guess what? I don't care. I don't care. It's anime, okay? And the same way people watch dumb movies, I watch dumb anime sometime, okay? And Inuyasha is my dumb anime, okay? I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand. Sorry, I forgot I was attached to my camera for a second. I got so passionate. Like, try that again. I used to stay up, okay, all night to capture the 2 episodes that Adult Swim would play at night on a VHS, okay? I made my mom drive from Baltimore to pretty much almost VA for me to see the first Inuyasha movie when it was in theaters. And that was at Otakon 2004. It was free. You just had to get there. That's how they got you. I used to walk around with a binder full of Inuyasha fan fiction. And you might say, a binder? Yes, a binder, because when I was in class, I would open the binder and read fan fiction, and my teacher would think that I was doing work because it was in a binder. You gotta think, okay? You gotta think about stuff. I'm one of those Inuyasha fans, okay, that you could sit me down and ask me anything about any character, probably in any episode, and I will remember it for some fucking reason. That's why my brain juice is going. It is what it is. I love Inuyasha. I don't care what nobody say. Okay? Fuck y'all. Well, that is my list. That is my top 20 list. This was hard. Like, it was like asking me to choose between my children. And I don't have any kids, but I can imagine. This is what it felt like. But if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about me. Go tell your friends about me. I can't sing right now. I might do another list if you want to see more of my list, because like I said, I wrote almost 100 different animes and I only picked the top 20. Who knows, if you want to see more anime related content, let me know as well. I might do like anime first impressions. Like, there's so many things I haven't seen, honestly, even though I've been watching anime for 30 years at this point. I want to maybe like start watching that stuff. So leave an anime down below that you think I might enjoy or that you enjoy, and maybe I'll check it out. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget. And I will see you in my next video.